Welcome to our channel. What you're about to witness is a roundup of some absolutely mental manufacturing techniques that are insanely interesting and just a little bit wacky. Some will make you awestruck at their ingenuity. Some will make you question everything you know, and at least one will make you ask, what's the point? Well, the point is this. Sometimes you just need to see some crazy stuff to make you appreciate just how cool engineering and manufacturing can be. And if you get the opportunity to see any of these in real life, jump at the chance, as they can be jaw-dropping and mesmerizing at the same time. Let's kick off the list by blowing some stuff up. Before you continue, please click on the subscribe button below this video. Number 10 is explosive forming. Explosive forming works by placing a sheet of material, usually a tough metal, submerged in water above a mold or die and detonating an explosive device above it. The shock wave sent through the transfer medium, for example water, will then shape the material into the required form. It was first used in the 1960s, mainly by the Russians during the space race, proving useful to create large corrugated metal sheets for rocket nose cones and other parts. Another industry that uses explosive hydraulic shock methods is boat building. It means they can shape the hull of large boats without having to weld panels together, making the process a whole lot easier. Number 9 is electrical discharge machining, EDM. Some bright spark came up with the wonderfully simple idea of using electrical sparks to shape materials. An electrode creates a powerful spark with the workpiece, creating blistering heat of up to 12,000 degrees Celsius, melting away anything that stands in its way. The process is highly controlled, so intricate shaping can take place. Water is used immediately after machining to cool the surface quickly. Wire EDM is a slightly different process used to cut contours into materials with a length of wire that generates high-powered sparks. Again, no contact is made between the electrode and the workpiece. EDM is also perfect for drilling and shaping hard materials such as titanium. Hence, it has become popular in medical equipment production and aerospace manufacturing, where they need to shape extremely tough materials such as Hastelloy, Waspaloy, Nitroloy, and Mnemonic. Number 8 is hydrographic printing. Ever wondered how decorative designs are printed onto items such as motorcycle helmets, gun barrels, and car dashboards? Wonder no longer. The process most commonly used to give a sleek, beautifully finished design on all kinds of materials, including metal, plastic, glass, and wood, is called hydrographic printing. It involves placing a design film on the surface of a water tank, applying a chemical to turn the design into a floating liquid, which also acts as a bonding agent, then lowering the object into the tank through the ink layer, which adheres to it. The object is then removed and lacquered to create a glossy, brilliant finish. Check out the video below. The process is strangely hypnotic and very satisfying to watch. Number 7 is exothermic welding. Next time you pass some rail engineering works, look out for this process taking place, as it's often used to join long lengths of rails together. You may not be able to see it too well, however, as the welders are supposed to put up screens to protect onlookers' eyes from damage caused by the white, hot thermite welds. The process involves using a thermite chemical reaction to heat the metal to a molten state, allowing a strong weld to be formed. Pretty cool stuff, as no external heat source is needed, just the raw power of pure chemistry. The resulting weld needs chiseling and grinding to create a smooth surface enough for running trains, but the payoff is in the extreme strength and reliability of the weld compared to other methods. This process, along with the advent of continuous welded rail, has revolutionized the rail industry, doing away with the old noisy clickety-clack joints and fish plates of yesteryear. Number 6 is mineral wool. Our next example of industrial processing is another interesting one. Mineral wool has a massive variety of applications across many industries. The process starts by taking big chunks of rock, melting them down, and then spinning the melt into threads of mineral wool. We are sold already. Rock tends to be sourced from the steel industry and includes the use of slag. Coke is used to fuel the entire process. All ingredient rock is partially crushed and sent for processing. The molten rock is passed into a large rotating drum. This drum spins and whips the lava in a fine wool. A binder is usually added at this stage too. It is a similar process used when making cotton candy floss for those in the UK. Later, a large pendulum device is used to deposit the wool in zigzagged sheets, the number of layers of which will vary depending on final requirements. This loosely packed mat is then passed through rollers to compress it and form the more uniform sheets. Additional heat is usually applied to cure the binder. The sheets then pass through more rollers to compress it further, which are then trimmed and cut to form the final product. Pretty neat, and it is very cool to watch. Number 5 is cold spraying. If it's absolutely mental manufacturing techniques you're into, check this one out. Powder particles are accelerated up to roughly 1,000 meters per second, approximately 2,200 meters per hour, using a supersonic compressed gas jet, like a compressed air cleaning tool on acid. The process disrupts the surface layer of the material, allowing new deposits to build up quickly and evenly. It's basically an extreme way to coat items such as machine parts that are temperature sensitive or made from materials that are easily compromised by oxygen or water damage. As it's a quick and fairly simple process, cold spraying is often used for repairing high-grade materials. For example, the U.S. military used cold spraying to repair components on their Black Hawk helicopters. Number 4 is ice cream sandwiches. Another food-related example of industrial processes here. We make no apologies, they are very satisfying to eat and indeed to watch being made. Honestly, you won't be disappointed. The process is pretty simple, but the engineering behind the machines less so. Ice cream is first whipped to add air. This is fed to the next part of the assembly. Here, 2 sets of wafers are sandwiched together as ice cream is simultaneously injected between them. The process is so efficient that around 140 ice cream sandwiches can be produced a minute. Wow! They are then packaged, refrigerated, obviously, and shipped out for all of you to enjoy. How pleasant! Number 3 is car tires, or tires. Ever wonder how car tires are made? So have we. Thanks how things are made, you're awesome. Tire production is a multi-stage process and consists of varying components that all come together to form the final tire. Tires are made from around 15 basic ingredients. These include natural and synthetic rubber, chemical additives, and carbon black pigment. Giant blenders are used to mix these ingredients under high temperatures and pressures. Recipes will vary slightly from each part of the tire, but the final result at this stage is thin rubber gum. These are rolled into sheets. Later, various combinations of cloth, metal, and rubber from each component of the tire, skeleton, walls, and treads, etc., are combined together to form the final product. All layers are assembled and heated, well vulcanized, together to produce a tire. We've deliberately glossed over the full process. We didn't want to spoil your enjoyment of the following video. Not to mention, it could be a full article on its own. We never realized there were so many industrial processes and stages to making tires. Number 2 is latex gloves. Ubiquitous across the world, latex gloves are an interesting example of industrial processes. It involves the very basic process of farming and harvesting in highly technical manufacturing. A perfect synergy of ancient versus ultra-modern technology. Natural latex is harvested, technically called tapping, from the Hevea brasillensis tree. These are mainly found in Vietnam, Thailand, and Indonesia. Milky latex is actually the tree's sap, and incredibly useful it is. Firstly, the molds or formers are cleaned and prepared. To be honest, this phase looks a little creepy. You'll see what I mean. Simultaneously, the latex is prepared. Latex gloves are actually not 100% pure. Additives are added to improve the elasticity and shelf life of the latex. Number 1 is bullets. There is a massive variety of bullet types and manufacturers, ranging from large companies to individuals who load and reload ammo with simple tools. Larger organizations tend to automate at least part of the process. Bullet making techniques also vary widely. We follow the process employed by Hornady in the U.S. for making their soft point exposed core type bullet, aka a Hornady interlock. Firstly, the metal jacket for the bullet is formed from stretching copper cups to receive the lead core at a later stage. Hornady prefers to use mechanical force to achieve this rather than heating and molding. This takes several stages to gradually stretch the copper to its desired length and diameter. A lead core is later added inside the jacket. Further stages of mechanical force are used to slowly form the characteristic bullet shape. This reshaping leads to excess lead being forced out of the top of the bullet. These are trimmed off. Further forced reshaping occurs, and once again excess lead is trimmed off the nose until the complete finalized bullet shape is achieved. Excess lead is shaped to form the bullet tip. The following video gives a nice overview and includes the formation of the entire cartridge. Hope you have enjoyed the video. Comment down below which 10 most insane manufacturing processing you like the most.